By Donald Trump standards, it had everything: a palace dripping in gold and a chance to create history. But despite the opulent venue, France's Palace of Versailles, the signing of his Iran peace deal appeared rushed and a little strange.
The agreement is in effect, and we now know Iran has scored major wins, with the president's critics declaring he caved.
History made over dinner at Versailles.
This was not easy.
Donald Trump signing the hard copy under the watch of the French president. Peace sealed in the same palace where World War I was brought to an end too.
Good job.
110 days since it began, Trump claiming the war is over.
You signed the deal?
You signed the MOU?
It's signed, yeah. You signed?
I signed it in Versailles.
Why did you sign it?
Iran's president adding his signature while sitting under photos of past and the present supreme leaders. Mediator Pakistan congratulating both sides, declaring it comes into force with immediate effect. The timing, though, came as a surprise. Donald Trump spent the day meeting fellow world leaders on the final day of the G7.
I'm the boss.
Saying there still will be a ceremonial signing attended by the Vice President in Switzerland on Friday.
If it doesn't work out, I'm blaming JD. You better be careful, JD. He's going to turn his plane around and get the hell out of here.
The 14-point agreement includes commitments to end the US naval blockade, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran. The main sticking points: an end to fighting on all fronts, including Lebanon, and expectations Iran's nuclear program is addressed.
It's a memorandum of understanding, and if I don't like it, we'll go back to shooting at them, dropping bombs on their head.
The reaction, mixed.
We are worse off than we were when the war started.
This is a good breakthrough. We've said all along we don't want Iran to get access to a nuclear weapon, so that's important.
And another surprise, the ceremonial signing, if it does still go ahead, will happen here in Lucerne, Switzerland, about a 3-hour drive from Geneva. Both the presidents, they have signed on the dotted line, but we understand delegations from both sides will still be getting together at the Bergenstock Resort overlooking Lake Lucerne, and that will be mediated by both Pakistan and Qatar. That will kickstart 60 days of negotiations to nail down long-term peace. But look, it has really been a shambolic week for the White House, even more unpredictable than usual, and no one really knows how this will play out. Angie.
Isabel Mullen, thank you. Many experts now believe Iran will be left in a far better position than what it was before Donald Trump started bombing the country. Foreign editor Hugh Whitfeld explains.
Donald Trump's first-term Vice President Mike Pence says this deal smacks of the appeasement the president railed against when criticising Barack Obama's previous Iran deal. Why? Under this agreement, Iran would be free of the sanctions that have crippled its economy, now able to sell oil on the world market, but only if Tehran winds down its nuclear program. Donald Trump says Iran will be allowed to keep a stockpile of ballistic missiles. He says America's destroyed 85% of them anyway. And Gulf countries will be expected to help fund a $300 billion reconstruction fund, potentially allowing nations like the UAE and Qatar to invest in Iranian infrastructure. The details to be worked out over the next 60 days during a ceasefire that will allow the Strait of Hormuz to open and, in theory, the oil to flow. 3.5 months after the war began, Iran is battered, but the Islamic Republic remains in place and now has a brighter economic future.